How you doing? I'm calling about the open mic tonight. I'm hoping you can give me some information, what I need to bring. I do magic tricks. Should I bring my whole kit and caboodle? I also do live animals during the act. I have rabbits, and I have a snake that we try to wrap around somebody's neck as a prank. So if you could give me a call, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Woo-wee! Hey folks, it's Saturday night here. Shot out of the cannon. I just had my beer in my car. That's right, folks. The lowly loser is back, baby. Pretty much I did 3 comedy open mics this week. Of course, starting on Monday at my open mic, Wheaties. It was a very weird day. So I hate when people give my phone number out without asking. I'm a fan of courtesy. So if I was going to give somebody a number out, let's say somebody said, hey, give me so-and-so's number, I would ask them first. But, of course, people don't do that. So the manager gave my number to this guy, Dean, who runs the open mic. I guess he does the Monday night mics there now. Or maybe he does all the shows there now. I don't know. But I called my phone about 10:30 in the morning, and I didn't pick it up. And it said Pennsylvania. So I listened to the voicemail, and it sounds like some guy doing a character. I realized that's Ed Bassmaster. If you guys don't know, Ed Bassmaster has about almost 3 million followers on YouTube. He's a YouTube sensation. He's out of Pennsylvania and Philly. So he said, hey, you guys listen to voicemail already, blah, blah, blah. So I listened to it. I go, I think that's Ed Bassmaster. So about 2 hours later, they call again around 11-ish when I'm eating my lunch. So this guy, Dean, calls me. The manager must have given my number. He goes, hey, I just want to check up on a few things. He said, I know you're hosting open mic tonight. Do you mind if I bring you up? I want to try and do some jokes. Because he obviously wants to replace me. I go, okay, that's up to you. He goes, all right. So I'll bring you up and stuff. Then he starts asking me questions. He goes, oh, by the way, that was Ed Bassmaster that called you. I said, okay. And then he starts making some jokes. He says, you sound nasally. And I'll go, yeah. Because are you sick? I said, no, but I don't know. My voice just sounds like that. He goes, okay. So he makes a couple of jokes and stuff. He goes, I'll see you tonight. So he goes, oh, by the way, the comedian tonight that has the best set is going to open for Ed Bassmaster in Atlantic City, March 15th, in this place called The Showboat. Make sure you make that announcement. So, okay, so I finish my lunch. I go on the computer. I go on the Comedy Network. So I go, hey, everybody, the comedian tonight that has the best set is going to open for Ed Bassmaster March 15th in Atlantic City at The Showboat. So I get there. The show's supposed to usually start at 8. It starts at 7 to 8:30. So I get there at 6:05. The band's there. I got to meet Ed Bassmaster. The sound guy is there. This guy's sound guy who did comedy a few times. His name was Greg. And I got to meet Dean for the first time. And, I met them for like a few seconds. And then we had about 8 comics at first. So I start the show at 7 o'clock. About 8 comics. There was no audience there, but a couple audience members. Next, this place starts getting packed. I mean, I thought only 20 people would show up. It starts getting fucking packed, man. And then a couple more comedians come in. And then a couple more comedians, So Dean told me the show has to end at 8:15. So that's only an hour and 15-minute show. So I told the comedians, you guys can do 7 minutes. So I cut the time down from 7 minutes to 6 minutes. Then I cut it down from 6 minutes to 5 minutes because I'm trying to make time constraint. So next thing you know, we end up having 14 comics, and if we don't count Dean. And, Dean was a nice guy, but he did one of the hackiest jokes in the book. He goes, oh, I don't like cocaine. I just like the smell of it. And that's one of the hackiest jokes in the world. I mean, whatever. So next thing you know, the show ends. Ends at right at 8:28. Bill Miller came in at the end. He closed the show. He's lucky I even put him on. Bill, if you listen to this, just remember all the times you came to my mic and you were an asshole. You were, doing your fucking Bill Miller show thing, whatever. Anyways, so Bill goes on last. And he gets to, almost every comedian had a good set except for a couple. And then they do this thing called a joke-off, where they bring out the best 3 comedians. So long story short, 3 comedians go on stage and do one more joke, and then the comedian that has, the last best joke wins. So this comedian, Mike Beavers, who's a black comedian who comes to my mic, he didn't like me for a while because I dropped some slurs on stage. He ended up winning. He's a funny guy. He gets to open up for Ed Bassmaster March 15th. And then pretty much I took pictures of the whole show. You guys saw me. I was in my wig. And then something that bumped me out was the guy D was trying to be funny. He's not a comedian. He's a musician. So pretty much D comes on stage. He goes, at one point during the middle of the show, there was, he told me, hey, you're probably going to have to move your seat because this place is going to get packed. And I can't believe how many people came in. Like, so many people came in. I thought it was going to be 20 people. It was like 50 to 100 people came in. I can't believe it. I know you had to follow it, but I was like, wow. So these two girls that have a table, I was going to sit in the back to let these girls sit at my table. And other than the fact they were girls, I was just like, okay. So Dean goes, oh, you just want these girls to sit at your table because, you want them to sit with you. I go, no, that's not true at all. So Dean brings that up on stage after the show. It embarrasses me. I go, and the audience is like, what? That's not even funny. So anyways, after the show was over, I sat at the bar. I talked to a couple of comedians after the show. I sat there. The show was only an hour. Ed Bassmaster does not even an hour. He has this band called The Unreals, and they play, they're a professional band, and they play cover band songs, and he jokes with the band. He's like, oh yeah, come on guys, get it together. And he jokes with the audience. He has his sweater on and stuff. He tells a few jokes, but like, he's not a comedian. He's not a stand-up comedian. He's like, a prank comedian, whatever, a YouTube comedian. So all of a sudden, I was sitting in the back listening to this. I'm like, so that's 9:30. Next thing you know, he goes, yeah, you know what, guys, I'm tired. I think I'm going to end the show. And then Dean goes, that's it for the show, everybody. I'm like, are you kidding me? He didn't even do an hour. Between picking the comic for the best comic of the night, he didn't even do an hour. Like, so these college kids were talking after the show, and they were like, dude, we felt ripped off. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even do an hour. Like I drove all up here for an hour, and I paid $20. We could have saw a real comedian. Like, he's not a comedian. He's a YouTube guy. So pretty much, I was going to leave, but then I thought about it, and I felt empty after the show because I was pissed what Dean did to me. Even though he was trying to be funny, I felt like he made me look bad. He tried to say I was a pervert with these two girls. And everybody knows me knows I don't even talk to girls. I'm an incel. So I decided to stay. So everybody was lined up for a picture. I went to the bathroom, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a picture with him. So I waited for a few minutes. I talked to the sound guy, who I know, and then I took a picture with him. And you guys saw the video. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, me talking to Bassmaster, and that was that. So the good news was the place was packed. I got pictures of the audience. It made the open mic look good. The guy Mike Beavers, he's very popular with the comedians. He posted about it, created a buzz for Wheaties. But other than that, it was like I felt empty afterwards. So that was Monday night. So then Wednesday night, I go to the Royal, which is a music comedy open mic. This guy Dan Wolf, who came Monday night, he's an older comedian. He's a very dirty. He's like me. He's a dirty comic. He said, hey, I'm going to be at the Royal. I said, all right, I have nothing to do Wednesday night. So I went Wednesday night. So usually this place is packed with acts. They get 15 to 20 comics. They give the bands 10 to 15 minutes. That's why, if you're a comedian, you get about 10 minutes. There was nobody there. We got lucky. So Dan usually gets there late. He got there early. He took the fourth spot. I took the first spot. So I went on first. I got some chuckles. I talked about some real life shit that happened this week, which I can't talk about on the podcast because it's just too personal. I know I usually give out everything, but I can't. And then Dan Wolf killed. And I'm not just saying that. Like, Dan Wolf, there wasn't that many people in the room. Dan Wolf fucking killed. He had people hollering. No pun intended. Oh! I mean, he just fucking killed. So I had a good set. Dan Wolf had a great set. We hung out. He brought a Stromboli, a vegetable Stromboli. And, Dan Wolf knows me, because I put him on 2 of my shows last year. And he comes to Wheaties sometimes. Wheaties. So, pretty much, that was Wednesday night. So, we had it both. I stayed for most of the show. There was 2 girls at the end when I left because, I hate women. And women hate me because I'm ugly. So, that was pretty much... there's a fucking box car, one of those weird cars driving behind me. Anyways, so that was Wednesday night. So then Thursday comes, right, folks? This is the longest week segment ever. I don't think anybody's listening to this. I don't care. I'm drunk right now. So Thursday night comes, and there's this open mic I've been going to called The Crave. I've been going there 6 or 7 months with some other comedians whose name I will drop. And, he emails you and says, if you're a regular, he'll email you and say, hey, you're going to come out the 20th, whatever, the 21st, whatever it is. So I didn't email him because I wasn't planning on going because I asked the 2 comedians I usually going to ride from, and they said they were busy. So next thing you know, he messages me personally on email and said, hey, my kids are going to be in the room, but they're going to leave after my set. So you can do whatever you want. Because he thought that's the reason why. So I wrote him back, and I was like, haha. I said, okay, I'll see you tonight. So I said to drive up there. So I'm like, holy fuck. I never drove up here before. You guys know, I never drove up here before with my hoopty. I mean, I'll drive on the highway. It's only about 44 minutes away. So Thursday night, if you guys remember, there was a little snowstorm. It was slipping on the road. So I decided to drive. I'm like, I'm going to crash my car probably. That's how I'm going to be there. So I go by myself. I text this guy, John C. Riley. He said he was out of town. And this other comedian, whose name I want mentioned, this person doesn't want to go there because she's mad about something. So I went by myself for the first time, like a big boy. So I drove up there, and I started doing 45 miles per hour, and I touch on my brakes. My brakes feel like they're going through the brake pedal's going to break. I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to crash my fucking car. You know? I'm going to crash my fucking car. So I just did 40 miles per hour. I know these cars tailgating me. They were behind me. They were fucking flashing their high beams. They're pissing me. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it 40 miles per hour. Fine. They went around me. So I made it there. It's in this like little mall in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, which is 44 minutes from me. And then when I got to the strip mall, I touched my brakes, and my car keeps going forward. Now, I just got an inspection a few weeks ago, and my mechanic told me that my car was fine. Well, that must have been bullshit, right? So I got lucky. If there's a car in front of me, I'm going to hit the car. So I get there. I check in. He put me on number 10, which is a shitty spot. I was only at the end of the list. He goes on first. His kids are in the room. They leave. His wife takes the kids out of the room. And I had a good set. I had a decent set. I did 3 sets this week, and all 3 sets were good. Usually I have at least one bomb set. I did good. I got laughs all 3 weeks, which is good. So pretty much I stayed after the show. I talked to some comics. And on the way home, the only thing that happened was I was driving slow still. It was a smooth ride home, and this guy tries to flick a cigarette butt at me. He goes around me to the right lane, and then I was in the left lane, and then he flicks a cigarette butt at me. And if I wanted to, I could have drove behind him, and I was like, I'm not gonna get into a fucking accident out here, because it's only if I get into an accident, I'm fucking stuck. I'm in Jersey if I crash my car. So the ride home was much more smoother, and that was that. And then Tuesday and Friday I went to the gym, and then tonight I drove the fucking Old City. I drove the Old City for nothing. I drove all the way out there. There was no parking. I said, fuck this. I'm not going to drive around in circles. I left my house at 7. I got down there around 7:40-ish. There was no parking. And I said, fuck this. I drove all the way back to Northeast. I went to the beer store. I just got a beer. I drank it really fast. I took a piss in Target. I walked around my car outside of the cold. And now I'm recording this. So, folks, this is the record. This is the longest fucking week segment we've ever done for the podcast. This is the whole show, pretty much. But we're not going to stop there. We're still going to do the odd news. And as far as public freakouts go, unless I see something I like, we'll post that. But we're not done yet because I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm going to go to either this place called Chicky and Pizza. I've been going the last couple weeks. Or I'll go to this place called Union Tap. And you get some wings and get some fries. And that's it. Okay? So I did 3 open mics this week. I went to the gym twice this week. And then tonight, I had a beer. And I did have a beer at the Royal on Wednesday night, too. So I had 2 beers. And Dan Wolf brought a Stramboli, a vegetable Stramboli. So, folks, this is the first but yet worst comedy podcast in Philly. It's your favorite podcast show that most people will listen to. And after this segment, you're going to hear more coverage from tonight, or you're going to hear some public freakout commentary, some odd news. The episode's going to go a little bit longer this week. I put up 2 YouTube shorts, pretty much from the Monday night open mic. You guys saw it. There was only a couple audience members in the room. I got some laughs, and then we did a prank call show this week. And the prank call show, of course, was mediocre. I think one or 2 people pissed off. and we got some people laughing. So that's it. We'll see you folks on the next segment. You just listened to, we're not done yet. And that's what it is, folks. Listen or you don't. It's your loss. Life goes on and all that jazz. And as far as next week goes, we're going to do a poop show, folks. That's right. Another episode about poop. Here we go. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let anybody fucking stop me. All right, folks. So I went to Chicky and Pete's. I got 12 dry wings with one side of buffalo sauce. I got the crab fries with a Diet Coke. And I ate it like the fat pig that I was. The bartender guy was a miserable cunt. He a faggot. I still tipped him, even though I shouldn't have tipped him. And I made it home safe. And that's it for the night, folks. On to the next segment. Alright, folks. I'm not sure if anybody's still listening to this thing, but we're going to get to the hot news. But before that, there's going to be an episode of Tales from the Poop, probably sometime Monday afternoon. Doesn't matter, because whenever I go live, it's random anyways, so just let you know. Alright, let's get to the odd news. Thieves use a stolen card to buy a $523,000 lottery ticket. The victims want to share the winnings. So, I guess you could say that they're bad criminals, but they're out of good luck. The child was tired of waiting for his mom, crashes into an Independence daycare. So I guess they left him in the car, and the kid was driving cranky there. Rising egg prices and high demand are prompting consumers to rent or buy chickens, but experts warn may not cut the cost. So everybody's trying to own their own cock. And I gotta tell you, folks, I own a cock and it's dead right now. You gotta be careful. Lee County Board of System officials chairman cited for public intoxication at a board meeting. Was that Eric Andre did that? He got arrested for that sketch. I would have put cameras in the girls' locker rooms. Pokemon cards are buying 1,000 of a Charizard-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Cheeto-Zord. Yeah. Well, that sounds like that's a Flamin' Hot mess. That's not good. Alleged serial urinator arrested in Kinney. I guess he's going around pissing everybody off. That's the old obvious joke. New York Yankees reverse decades old facial hair policy will finally allow well-groomed beards. Tesla sales are taken across the world. Aw, poor Elon Musk. He won't be rich anymore. Chinese snow village apologizes for using cotton wool to create fake snow. I guess they're picking up an issue. That was alright. That was a Black History joke. Did your folks like it? All right. Nearly 500 cat figurines stolen from Gordon Ramsay London's restaurant. It's fucking wrong, you donkey! Barclays under fire for offering mystery shoppers €45 to pretend to be blind. Yeah, I guess that they can't see what's going up. Selena's teacher to return to class to allegedly try to sell test-enhancing pills to students. I guess they're limitless. You guys ever seen that movie? Yeah. Sheriff, €500,000 jackpot for the men who brought sketch. Okay, I read that already. Fashion ad was banned from a camera angle made model look to. I think I read that last week. Is this the same stuff? Maybe I read the same stories. Burst pipe causes flood from freezing cars. Broken stocks now works amongst your business didn't pass smell tests when aromathapermy offered became alleged sex offer. Arrest followed. Burned in woman's legs turned out to be a slug's parasites migrated to her brain. Well, I guess that's slithery. I don't know. I was going for something. There's a joke there somewhere. Student set school on fire trying to hide an unflammable girlfriend from a roommate. Plump Beaver is Chicago's newest viral sensation now. It just needs a name. Colorado man accused of attempting to use a cannon to launch meth and tobacco into Louisiana prison. I guess they're Breaking Bad. Ramen store owner puts county on consumers' heads for a negative rating on his shop. KFC to become Texas Fried Chicken in HQ, moved to Texas State. U.S. woman sues after carrying the wrong baby in IVF error. Brazil mayor faked a gun attack to poll boost, got shot, then lost the election anyways. Calling a man bald is sexist, sex-related harassment, they said. Oh yeah, I read that before. Calling a man is bald is sexual harassment. Well, if that's the case, then I guess you have an eye for an eagle. I don't know. Pet monkey jumps through drive-through window and attacks Starbucks worker, AI cops say. Thousands of tourists flock to see an eruption, blocking rescue services. Jewish man mistakes 2 Israeli tourists for Palestinians, opens fire on them in Miami. Japanese man marries classmate's mom, says her pheromones captivated me. I don't have any jokes for none of these stories. I'm out of it, folks. Cake bandit, a possum hospitalized after indulged entire Costco cake. A woman, okay, I read that before. Okay, let's check one more news site and see if there's anything else. Usually it's the same thing. It's the same crap. And, yeah, we'll go from there. Robot with 1,000 muscles twitches like human, dangling from ceiling. AI must be stopped at all cost. Man shares photo of his daughter's private part on Facebook. Yeah, I guess he's crotching up the wrong tree. Man allegedly killed his wife after reaction to his Paris Day Valentine's Day gift, hardest ever tried. China's student burns inflatable girlfriend and sparks fire after roommate returns edgely. Well, he's really tortured something up, isn't he? That's it, folks. I think, yeah, that's it. Well, anyways, thank you for listening to this from the bottom of my fat little rotten heart. I'll see you folks on the next one. You just listened to, and we're out of here. Go freak yourself, Cuffy.